you're folding something, if you're practicing your own presentation, I might deduct your points. Okay, so please be a nice audience, okay? Yes? Yes. Thank you. All right, let's start right away. Okie doke. Laon.
Title: Little Tongue and His Friend. Today I will introduce you the book called Little Tongue.
Can you see your face? Yeah. Can you see the front and do it? Or do you need the back side? Oh, you remember?
Title: Little Tongue and His Friend. Author: Sunwoo Kang and Julia Hong Jr. Today I will introduce you the book called Little Tongue and His Friend. Beginning. Once upon a time there were 4 friends, Little Tongue, Crunchy, Tommy, and Wiggle. They lived together in a happy body. Little Tongue was a tongue who loved sweets. He didn't like vegetables. Middle. One day, Little Tongue ate chocolate all the time. When he drank soda, Tommy made loud noises because it stunk so much. When he ate sausage, Wiggle felt too full and couldn't work well. Little Tongue saw that his friends were not feeling well, so he decided to change. He ate fewer sweets to help Crunchy. He drank milk to help Tommy feel calm. He ate vegetables so Wiggle could feel better. And now all his friends are healthy and happy. What I learned is that if we eat too many snacks like chocolate, our body can get sick. So we should eat healthy food to help our body feel good. My personal experience. When I was 7, I've been ate too much snacks, sweets. So my grandmother has gotten worse. So my mother said, don't eat snacks too much. So my throat feels well now. So I decided to change to eat fewer snacks and even more healthy food like cucumbers, pumpkins, and onion. Now my favorite food is meat, potato, and onion. It tastes yummy when it is fried together. And what kind of healthy food do you like?
She's asking a question. What kind of healthy food?
Brandon. And Jaden. Rianshi. Onyu. Hi. So, Jennifer. Daniel. Ashara, Chris, Mayura, Jihoon, Goya, Isaac, and Jane, Logan, Connor, Bumbi, Goya, No, I'm just asking. G5 someone. I don't know his name. Thank you for listening.
Alright, thank you, Laon. Alright, so hopefully today, when you're eating lunch, eat one veggie. I'm gonna check if everyone eats one veggie. Alright? Okay, next up we have G2 Ian.
Hello everyone, my name is Ian O. Today I'm gonna show you this book called A Mouse Called Wolf by Dick King Smith. There was a small mouse named Wolfgang Amadeus Mouse. His mother gave him a long name because she loved music. He and his brothers liked to run across the 52 white keys of the piano when no one was around. Wolf fell off and his brothers made fun of him. Wolf liked and called him Wolf. Wolf liked the nickname and kept it. One day, Wolf discovered that he could sing. His mother was surprised and proud. A kind old lady named Mrs. Honeybee, who lived in the house and loved playing the piano, heard Wolf singing. She was amazed. Slowly, she earned Wolf's trust by putting chocolate near the piano. Eventually, Wolf began to sing while she played the piano, and the two became good friends. One afternoon, Mrs. Honeybee fell down the stairs and couldn't move. Wolf saw what happened and bravely ran to the window. He sang loudly until a policeman outside heard him and came in. The policeman saw Mrs. Honeybee and called the hospital to get help. Everybody thought Mrs. Honeybee was just imagining the singing mouse, but she knew the truth. When she came back from the hospital, she told Wolf how thankful she was. From then on, she always called him by his special name, Wolf. There are many reasons why I like this book, but I chose 2 reasons to share you. First, I really appreciate the moral in this book. It gives me confidence in who I am. Although Wolfgang was a small mouse, he proved that even the smallest among us can do great things. Second, I really enjoyed the humor in this story. an idea of a singing mouse and a human playing together in harmony is both imaginative and funny. Also, I would like to share you 2 lessons I learned from this book. After reading this story, I saw Mrs. Honeybee's kindness and learned that we should be kind to everybody, no matter who they are. Also, like Wolf, being young or small doesn't matter, and you should always try your best to achieve your goals. To conclude my presentation, I want to leave you with this message. No matter how small you are, you can do big things. The end. Thank you for listening.
All right, thank you, Ian. Okay, I can see that some people are not sitting nicely, but I'm gonna do the same thing as last time. If you guys are sitting nicely, your class will go first. Okay, so I'll be watching. Now, what was a lesson that Ian learned in this story? So, yeah, so even though it seems like there's no hope, you can achieve things, right? Yeah, is that what you said? Okay, good job. So, all right. Now, next up, we have G3, Della. Oh.
Are we all the same? No. I'm sure everyone is different and each has his or her own unique personality. It's not wrong. It's something else. The story I'm going to introduce is about a disabled child who has overcome the difference and slowly has become aware of his personality. The title is Wonder, written by R.J. Palisho. The author, R.J. Palisho, ran into a real facial deformity child in front of an ice cream shop. It was then when she was reminded of her child's reaction and her feelings, then she wrote Wonder based on the experience. Now let's get into Wonder's interesting story. Wonder is the story of August Pullman, or August Pullman, short for Augie. With a natural facial deformity, he homeschooled until 5th grade after going back to school. The boy grows up with various incidents and accidents with new people. Admission to school is a decisive moment that changed Augie's life, and at the same time, Augie's bumpy school life begins. Everyone who walks by looks at Augie and whines, trying not to come into contact with him. But some of his friends reach out to him. Kind Summer and Jack, regardless of people's appearance, but others tease and bully him. Julian, who is especially popular at school, harasses him and keeps him away from his friends. Augie develops relationships with people who love themselves and can see their minds, not their appearances. The big feature is that the story unfolds not only from the perspective of children, but also from the perspective of friends, family members, and teachers. I was able to learn how to understand others by seeing the same situation from the perspectives of different characters. The central theme of this book is kindness. When given the choice between being right or being kind, choose kind. This is what Augie's teacher said to students in the most famous sentence in the book. It illustrates how big a difference a person's small kindness can make. I highly recommend both the book and the movie to all of you. If you read the book first then watch the movie, you can understand the emotions more deeper. But if you watch the movie first then read the book, you can understand the content more easily. Wonder seems to mean the specialness and the personality of Augie and the emotions that his presence gives. It was warm and touching throughout the reading, and I could feel how important it was to understand people's differences. I'm sure by the time you read the last chapter, all of us will want to be more kind people. Thank you!
All right, thank you, Della. All right, so what was the lesson she learned from this story? Naira?
So if you can choose to be right or to be kind, you should choose kind.
Okay, kind over right. Very good. But that's hard, right? Okay, next up we have from G for Lina.
I'm going to tell you about a book called Awesome Friendly Adventure by Jeff Kinney. About the author. Jeff Kinney is the best-selling author and illustrator of the Diary of Wimpy Kid series, which follows the humorous adventures of a middle school student named Greg Heffley. The author's full name is Jeff Patrick Kinney, and he was born on 1971, February 19th. He was famous for writing and illustrating Diary of a Wimpy Kid series. About the main characters. This is the main character, Roland. He goes on an adventure to save his mom. He finds new friends on the way. This is Garg, and he is Roland's best friend. He's a barbarian, and he carries heavy things for his friends. This is the one-eyed wizard. I put him in the main character because he helps Roland and his friends to move around fast and go to high places. Now I'm going to tell you about the first, beginning, middle, and part of this story. First, this story is written by Rowley Jefferson, who is Greg's best friend. Rowley decides to make his own book and tells a super cool adventure story. The hero of the story is a brave knight named Roland. Roland is on a mission to save the world from an evil wizard. He wears shiny armor, carries a sword, and rides a horse. Roland goes on a long journey and faces many challenges. He meets silly wizards, tricky monsters, and even has to cross scary places like dark forests and spooky caves. But no matter how hard things get, Roland never gives up because he wants to help everyone. Second, Roland isn't alone on his journey. He has a strong, funny friend named Garg the Barbarian. They make a great team. Garg is big and powerful, but also very kind. Together, they help people in trouble, solve puzzles, and fight bad guys. They even rescue a princess. The world they will travel has many weird creatures and magic spells, so it's always exciting. Roland learns how to be a better hero, and he always tries to do the right thing, even when it's scary or confusing. The adventure keeps getting crazier, but they never stop moving forward. Lastly, at the end of the story, Roland faces his biggest challenge, a giant fire-breathing dragon. It looks like he might lose, but his friends help him and he finds the courage to fight back. In the end, Roland wins. The evil wizard is defeated and the kingdom is saved. Everyone is happy and proud of Roland. He just started as just a regular guy, but he became a true hero. After the adventure is over, Rowley talks a little about why he made this book. It's funny because he adds silly stuffs, but it also shows how much he cares about being creative and having fun. I recommend this book to kids aged 9 to 12-year-olds. I have 4 reasons. Number 1, it's fun and full of adventure, so even kids who don't usually enjoy reading can get into it. Number 2, it has lots of humors and pictures, making it easy and enjoyable to read. Number 3. The main character Rowley shows imagination and bravery, which can inspire kids to be creative and confident. Number 4. If a kid liked Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, they will probably like this one too, because it's written by the same author. And thank you for listening.
All right, thank you, Lina. So, at the end of the story, what does our main character realize? So he needs to be what? Ryanshi? Yeah, he needs to be? Yeah? Can somebody help? Can somebody help? So, he learned, let's sit nicely. I said it twice now. Do not touch it. Thank you. All right, so what did he learn? We have to be what? Guys, we have to be what? We have to be Dakshara? Creative, yes. Yes, June? Yeah, creative and use your imagination, right? Okay, very good. Okay, next up, we're gonna do G5. Jacob.
If you had to spend $5 million in 30 days, would it be possible? I don't think so. But in this story, the main characters, Felix and Benji, are having the same challenge. So now let's begin the story called Millionaires for the Month, written by Stacey McAnulty. So the author of this book is Stacey McAnulty, and she is the award-winning author for over 24 books for young readers, including middle-grade novels like The Miscalculations of Lightning Girl and The World Ends in April. She lives and works in North Carolina, and she delivers inspiration and valuable lessons to readers through engaging stories for children and young adults. You can find more information about her in the website below. The main characters of the story are Benji, Felix, and Lara Friendly. Benji is an energetic boy who likes to play many sports, and he's the one who found Lara Friendly's wallet. So they started the challenge. Felix is a boy that doesn't like being involved very much, and he is very quiet and follows the rule very well. Lara Friendly is the billionaire and the owner of the social media company named Friendly Connect, and gave Benji the challenge. Setting. Benji found the purse while he was at the field trip to the American Museum of Natural History. So back at Sterling Middle School, they got the reward for finding the wallet. So after they found the wallet, belonged to a wealthy person named Lara Friendly. So as her way to express her gratitude, she made an offer to spend $5 million in 30 days. If they succeed, she will give them $10 million. They try very hard to spend all of the money, but in the end, they find it very difficult and they failed the challenge. These were the rules of the challenge. So they had to spend $5,368,709.12 by midnight December 1st. They cannot give away the money and they cannot buy physical gifts for people. They must use what is purchased, and then these are the no list that they cannot buy. And they cannot tell anyone about this challenge and these rules. Lastly, on December 2nd, any items purchased with the $5 million will be repossessed. So Benji and Felix used their money like these. So for example, they used it for the hotel, and they bought themselves a snack, devices, an app store, and like a lot of things like these. But they spent a lot of money by these, but they couldn't spend all of the money in the end. If I had a chance to spend a large amount of money, how would I use it? So in my experience, using money thoughtfully is very hard. because every Lunar New Year, I receive a large amount of money, but I always struggle to think about what to use my money, whether I'm going to save it in my bank account or buy an electrical device or like my favorite snack. Through how the character used money, I learned that there are a lot of different ways of spending money. So if I had a large amount of money, I would use the money to build a hospital in my community to help people who needs help, build a community kids facility that kids like us can enjoy, and help my family's health. I hope to spend my money meaningfully like that. So reading points. When you're reading this book, you should focus on these points. So as you see, there's a special challenge. Their challenge was to spend about $5 million in 30 days. They had strict rules about what they could buy and cannot. Second, different characters. Benji and Felix has different personalities, and it leads to different ways of spending money. Lastly, process of spending money. They buy different kinds of goods that children like us can't normally possibly buy, and the process is very entertaining in this story. Message that this book gives me. So the value of money and using money wisely. By looking at how the character spends money and treats money, we can learn the value of money is different for each character. So, for example, for Felix, it is very valuable to him and his family, but while for Lara Friendly, it's just like a penny to her. Through how Benji and Felix spend their money, it is important to make thoughtful choices and handle money with responsibility. Lastly, money isn't everything. When Felix and Benji lost the challenge, they felt sad, but they also realized that money isn't everything. Even though they lost the challenge and the opportunity to become very rich, they learned that their family and friends' relationships are way more important and valuable than money. Recommendation. I recommend this book to children who want to learn more about money and how to spend them. This story is very enjoyable with its different characters and personality and the unbelievable challenge, and I think it makes the story very worth it. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Alright, so hopefully everyone is using their money wisely. Yeah. Are you? Yeah. Ooh, snacks. Cha-ching. Ooh, snacks. Cha-ching. Toys. Cha-ching. Hopefully you guys are not doing that. All right, back to G1. We're going to have Scarlett.
Hello everyone. Today I'm going to introduce you to a book called Nancy Clancy, Star Upstage and Scream by Jane O'Connor. The main character is Nancy Clancy. She loves all things fancy. She likes butterflies and dreams about friends. Nancy also likes to speak French. Beginning. In this story, Nancy and her friends are very excited to be in their school play. Nancy really wanted to be the star and has the biggest part. Middle. Oh la la! Nancy got a call back from her teacher. She got a part but not the one she really wanted. and made her a little disappointed. Still, Nancy tried her best and learned that every role is important. Meanwhile, Nancy and her best friend Bree had a fight because Nancy said something behind Bree's back. Soccer Blue, that's French for yipes. And Nancy learns how to be a good friend. She also learns that working together is even more important than being the star. In the end, she is proud of her work. Lesson I learned. I learned that when we work together, we can feel happy and proud. And even if things don't go the way we hope, it's important to keep trying and never give up. C'est la vie. That means that's life in French. Last month, we had Easter festival at our school. I felt a little shy, but I tried to enjoy it and do my best. I was really happy to work together with my friends on the stage. Thank you for listening.
Okay, that was so cute. Yeah, some cuteness I can't find in my classroom, but that was great. Okay. All right, so what was the lesson not Scarlett. Oh yeah, what did the lesson Scarlett learn? What did she learn? It was very clear, guys. Hayun, what did she learn? Yeah, exactly. Even though it may seem hard, if we work together, we will get better results, right? It's really nice to work together. Okay, from G2, Irene.
Hello everyone, my name is Irene. Today I'm going to talk about Henry and Mudge and the long weekend. Author, Sincere Relent. Summary, Henry had a long weekend. He was excited at first, but then he got bored. It was too cold to play outside. Mudge, his big dog, was also lying around doing nothing. Henry told his dad that he had nothing fun to do. His mom had a great idea. She said, let's build a castle. They found the big cardboard boxes and cut doors and windows. They painted the boxes with bright colors and added flags and towers to the castle. When the castle was finished, it looked amazing. They had a fun time playing inside. My thought, I really like this book because it reminded me of my own weekend. One day I was very bored at home because it was snowing outside. Then my sister said, let's build something fun in the living room. So we made a big tent using pillows and blankets. We even brought snacks and fruit into the tent. We laughed, told stories, and had a really good time. I learned that we don't need toys or games to have fun. And the best part of this book was when they ate pizza in the castle. I think that would be so fun. I want to try it with my family too. This story showed us that we can use our imagination to make a boring day special. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.
Right. Thank you, Irene. So, what did Irene learn? What did she learn? Jessica? Yeah, we're gonna have fun with our imagination. Very good. So, class, not class, everyone, I have a little helper here. So he's gonna help me tell who's next, okay? Can you do it? Can you do it?
I don't know.
Yeah, but you gotta read it, okay?
No?
Yes.
No? Yes.
Okay. All right. So next up is gonna be from G3.
Haram?
Haram. Okay. Good job.
Hello everyone, my name is Haram from grade 3. Today I'm going to introduce a book called A Bad Catcher of Flies, written by David Yuna. I choose this book because Kamala said okay to live in my way. It was first day to go to school. She was thinking about what she wear. She liked lime beans, but she never eat them because her friends hate the lime beans. She was worried about another people think of her. Mother and Kamala was screaming because the rainbow storm was come on. She got to school. Everybody was saying the Kamala. Everybody don't want class with she. She got to doctor, but any doctor don't know about the rainbow prize. Every doctor don't know about the prize. She lost the identity every day. One day, the grandmother was coming to the Kamala's house. The grandmother was seeing the Kamala, and grandmother gave the lime beans to she. She ate it. The rainbow prize was disappeared. She was happy to don't have the rainbow prize. I think whatever we look like, you're amazing just the way you are. Thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you, Haram. That was a nice story. So, what was the lesson that she said she learned? Jasmine? Exactly. You are beautiful just as you are, okay? Next up, we have from G4.
Jihoon.
Have you heard about some people or some dog change other life forever? This is the story. Hello everyone, my name is Yuna. Today I'm going to present about 2025 book presentation Because of Index by Kate DiCamillo by Jihoon Lee from G4. First, let's talk about overview, setting, the writer, character, meaning of index, a new beginning, understand her father, the party and storm, conclusion, my opinion, and recommendation of this book. First, setting of this book. The story takes place on a trail park in a small town of Miami, Florida, USA during the summer. The key location is Opal South, the special location where conflict relation with her father take place. Glorious Garden, a place where friends hang out and parties are held. Around Glorious Town, supermarket, library, and pet shop, a setting where people meet and relationship develop. First, second, the writer, Katie Camello. She is Katie Camello. Katie Camello is a famous American author of children's book. She wrote a Because of Wendy's and Table of These Periods. Her stories are love, friendship, and being brave. Many people love her book because it's heartwarming and easy to read. The character, the arc of the character is unique and lonely, and end of story, they all found their friendship. First, Opal, the 10-year-old girl, she found the Windex in the supermarket. Windex, the friendly and gentle dog, and the Opal found in the supermarket and named the same as supermarket called Windex. Onyx, the Onyx is a shy man who worked at pet store. He played the music for animal. The pitcher, the father, he is a quiet, serious man. But in the beginning, the pitcher, the Opal's father, didn't open the mind to Opal. But in the end of the story, the father opened the mind. First, let's talk about the meaning of Windex, Opal and Windex. Meaning of Windex. Opal goes to the grocery store called Windex to get something from her father. While she was there, a big stuffy dog was running around. The manager saw it go away, but Opal scared them and named it Windex, same as supermarket. And Opal bring the home the knocking that this word in beginning of the life-changing friendship. Second, a new beginning of friendship, life, past the healing. A new beginning. Windex by the side, Opal find the courage or to meet someone. Yes, someone. And Opal find the love and friendship to meet someone. By the end of this story, Opal starts a new chapter in life, one filled with hope, love, and true belonging. Third, understand her father, helping him heal. Understand her father. Opal's relationship with her father is distant at first. He is quiet, strength, and mid of the time is thinking of working on the sermons. Opal feel he doesn't like really listen or understand how lonely she is. But in the end, when Opal lost the Windex, when the Windex is lost, they are finding that happened. Opal and father is get close to each other. Fourth, the party and store, fun and available. Party and store, Opal's and Glorious Garden party to bring all Opal's new friends together. They are enjoying the party, but suddenly thunderstorm come out, and Windex gets scared and run away. And Opal and Pitcher go out into the storm to find him. And in the end, they safely found the Windex safely. Conclusion of this book. First, because of Windex, Opal make a new of friends and become happier. Second, she learned to understand others and forgive the past. Third, her bond with her father grew stronger, and she find a place where she belongs. My opinion, I really enjoyed this book because it was warm and full of the heart. I like how dog could bring too many people together and help them heal. Opal's story showed that even small things can lead big things. It made me feel hopeful and reminded me of the power of friendship and love. Recommendation of this book. I recommend this book because the story is heartwarming and easy to understand. The story teaches important lessons about friendship, kindness, and family. The characters are unique and lovable, and especially the dog makes the story fun. It's a great book for kids around my age who wanted a story that is both touchy and hopeful. And quiz time, secret quiz time, let's start. Multiple choice. Where is the place that is not included in the setting? A. Opal South. B. Glorious Town. C. Glorious Garden. D. Doghouse. Maria? Wait a minute. That's correct. Congratulations. Answer was D. Doghouse. The fill-in-the-blank question. This is a main character called Wendex, Onyx, Pitcher, and Jane. The other person? Brendan? Wow, that's correct. Congratulations. The answer was Opal. Thank you, Kizistan. And thank you for your attention by G4 Junior.
Alright, good job, Jihoon. So next up we have G5.
Yena.
Hello everyone, I'm Yena from G5. Today I'm going to talk about the book called Tyler His Story, written by Roderick Hunt, with a main character named Tyler. Tyler is a boy riding a wheelchair and going to time vault where Tyler and his friends study about the time. But one day, some of his friends were starting to fight each other and the number of fighting was increasing. One of Tyler's friends called Wilma tried to fix this problem. So everyone gathered together and talked about it, but they were fighting again. So Tyler told them about his old story. Tyler was in a rich family. His mom was French and his dad was in the British Navy, but he got killed at the sea, so this incident made his mom sick. Tyler asked for help, but nobody helped him, so sadly his mom died. And even the landlord of his house had to get out of the house, so Tyler became an orphan. One day, Tyler saw there were free lectures for every people who want the lectures. So Tyler went at every lectures and kept himself warm. After some days, he went to Royal Foundation, but the place was shut down for a big dinner. Fortunately, he found an open window, so he went inside. He thought there was nobody, but there were some people who were secretly talking in French. Tyler could understand their conversations because he was half French. However, what they were talking about was an explosion in the science lecture. They were spies. Tyler wanted to tell this story to others, but there was nobody who believed in him. But one day, Tyler saw the explosion plan that he heard from the French spies in the science lecture. There was gunpowder beside the candle. Tyler tried to stop the flames by stepping on it, but he fell down into a trapdoor. So Tyler got hurt on his leg. Even though he got hurt, he thought he would be in a newspaper and would be famous because he helped other people from the explosion. However, he was not a hero. One boy, Michael Faraday, came to Tyler in the hospital and gave him a wheelchair as a present. It was a very big help for Tyler because he didn't have money for buying a wheelchair. Tyler helped other people and also wanted to become famous. But unlike Tyler, Michael just helped Tyler, just he wanted to. As Tyler finished his story, he said to his friend that his life was very hard in the past, so they are very lucky that their lives were easier than Tyler's life. In this book, I learned that I have to help other people not because I want to get something good or have benefits, because I have a mind that I want to help them. And also, I learned that I'm lucky because I can try my best for everything and enjoy my life even though it's hard. But not that I'm lucky because my life is easy, like Tyler said to his friends. And last, I learned that I have to work hard to live my only one life even though it's tough. When I was much younger than now, I helped my sister studying and I wanted to hear my mom complimenting about me. But now, I'll think about helping other people with a good heart, and I'll try my best for everything to be a good and helpful person. Thank you for listening.
All right, thank you, Yena. So, teachers, do you want to take 5? Should we take 5 or should we just continue? Continue. Okay, let's continue because we have no. All right, so next up we have from Jihoon.
Aiden.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Aiden. Today I want to talk about the book called The Empty Pot. It was written by an author named Demi. The main characters are Pink, the Emperor, and the other children. A long time ago in China, there was a wise emperor. He was getting old and had to choose the next emperor. So he gave each child a flower seed and said, "In 1 year, bring me the most beautiful flower you can grow." There was a boy named Pink who loved growing plants. He planted the seed in his best pot and gave it water and sunlight every day, but the seed didn't grow. Other children had a beautiful flower, but Pink's pot stayed empty. Even though he was embarrassed, he brought his empty pot to the emperor. Emperor saw all the flower and said, "The seed I gave you were cooked. They couldn't grow. Only Pink was honest and brought me the empty pot." So the emperor chose Pink to be the next emperor. The flower did not bloom, but the truth is, I learned that being honest is more important than winning or looking good. Telling the truth can be hard, but it's always the right choice. One day, I was playing a board game with my family. During a game, I found a mistake. If I said nothing, I could win. But at the moment, I remembered Pink. I chose to brave and told the truth. We restarted the game and played it fairly. That day, I didn't win the game, but I felt proud of myself for being honest. Choosing the truth is braver than winning. Thank you for listening.
All right, good job. Yes, honesty is the best policy, right? Okay, next up we have from G to
Yuna.
Yuna.
Hello everyone, I am Yuna from G2. I will talk about the Little Queen. The author is Roderick Khan and the main characters are Chip and the Little Queen. In the beginning of the story, Wolf and Wilma go on a picnic with their family and friends to the White Horse Hill. After eating snacks, their mom tells them to look at all the litter that left behind. The children feel bad and start picking it up. Later, they see a flying machine called the Goya. In the woods, their dog Puppy gets hurt because he stepped on broken glass. His paw was bleeding. Wolf found some glass of jar. He must have got hurt with it, said Wolf. It is very dangerous to leave broken bottles, Mom said. They went to the chicken shop for dinner and saw that there was no space in the little bin. So some of the kids threw their trash on the ground. Only Beef didn't. That night, Chief was a key clothes and take Chief to the Little Queen's palace. Her kingdom is full of little and junk and also has two giants right by her side. She tells Chief to help her spread more little everywhere. Little Queen's people and Chief throw little on the park and throw the microlight to drop litter. In the end, Chief was saved from the drain, but he remembered what he saw and decided to make a change. He started a class project about litter, and he even wins a prize for writing about the Little Queen. In this book, I learned that we are destroying Earth. The Little Queen was just a story, but we are trashing and drawing little like her. Trashing little made nature, people, and animals tired in the future. Before, I dressed many pieces of little on the ground. I thought it was okay with just a little bit of trash, and I didn't want to hold it. And I didn't think about nature. Chip didn't think about dropping little like I did, but after the Little Queen adventure, Chip took action with a little project for the earth. So I want to follow Chip. I learned that I can do a project like Chip class to make us better. I want to write a book about Earth and litter to teach how we can save Earth or how seriously we are destroying it. I want to share simple ways to protect Earth, such as making a poster to show how good it is if we recycle, how bad it is if we throw litter on the ground, and ways we can reuse things, like work to make us better. Thank you for listening.
Right, thank you, Yuna. Yes, please do not litter on the ground and let's recycle. All right, next up we have from G3.
Sunwoo.
Hey, G3, Sunwoo.
Hello everyone, today I will talk about a fun book. The book name is called The Magic Finger by Roald Dahl. Have you ever wished you had a magic finger? The story is about a girl who has a magic finger. When she gets angry, her finger shows out magic. One day she gets mad at her neighbors, the Greg family. They like hunting animals, and that makes her very upset. The finger turns the Greg into birds. Now they have wings and live in a nest. The family learns how hard it is to be a bird. They feel sorry for hunting animals and promise never to do it again. The girl is happy because they learn a lesson. I think the story is funny and surprising. I learned that being kind to animals is very important. I hope everyone thinks before they hunt animals. Thank you for listening.
Good job, Sunwoo. Alright, yes, you gotta protect animals. They're living things, right? Alright, next up we have from G for
Goya.
Alright, Goya.
Do you believe a person can allow a tortoise to grow twice as large as its original size just in 7 weeks? It's a question. Brandon. No. Well, one person can. Mr. Hoppy. So today, I'll be telling you about a book called LCU Truck, written by Ronald Dahl. Mr. Hoppy lived in a tall concrete building. He had 2 loves, his flowers and Mrs. Silver, who was his downstairs neighbor. So, Mr. Hoppy was a very shy man, so he couldn't express his love to her. He thought of doing something tremendous, like saving her life or something, but still, it was just thoughts. Until one day, he found that Mrs. Silver's love was Elfie, a tortoise that she had for many years. But Miss Elfie hadn't grown much over the years. So that's when Mr. Hoppy got an idea. He got a paper and wrote down a magic spell and gave it to Mrs. Silver. He said this would allow Elfie to grow larger in a short time. And it went like this. It's okay if you don't understand, because it's wrote in tortoise language. If you spell it backwards, it'll be. I wish everybody can read it together with me. Tortoise, tortoise, get bigger, bigger. Come on, tortoise. Come up, puff up, shoot up, spring up, blow up, show up. Work, guzzle, stuff, gulp. Put on fat, tortoise, put on fat. Get on, but fail. Mrs. Silver doubted this, but still she tried. Mr. Hoppy suggested reading this 3 times a day to Elfie with emotion. In order to let this spell work, he went to lots of pet stores and bought all the tortoises that looked similar with Elfie, but in different sizes. Next, he was once a mechanic, so he made a long robot claw called the tortoise catcher. He used this to get Elfie from Mrs. Silver's balcony to his. Sir, he noticed Mrs. Silver's schedule. Mrs. Silver had to work every week afternoon, so that's when he started. He used his tortoise catcher to get Elfie to his balcony. He measured Elfie carefully and picked another tortoise that weighed slightly heavier. He thinks Mrs. Silver wouldn't notice. He did this for the next 7 weeks, turning it from 13 ounces to 27 ounces. Mrs. Silver hadn't noticed until one day, Elfie was too big to fit inside of his house. Mrs. Silver was amazed and also very sad that she had to rent such a beautiful house. So that's when Mr. Hoppy gave her another spell. The spell worked again. Mrs. Silver was so surprised. So, very soon, Mrs. Silver invited Mr. Hoppy down for tea. And guess what? A few weeks later, they married and lived happily ever after. In this story, Mr. Hoppy used something that he was good at to do something unbelievable. This inspired me that we have to use our strengths to find solutions for problems, find the good opportunity to start, and it's always perfect to try many ways. Thank you for listening. Any questions? Any questions? Okay.
Alright, good presentation, Goya. Yes, we gotta try. Okay, next up is going to be from G5.
Lena.
Lena.
Hello, my name is Lena, and today I'll present a book called The Wild Robot Protects. This book is by Peter Brown. Table of contents. First, title and author. Second, characters. Third, beginning, middle, end. Fourth, lesson I learned. Fifth, my personal experience related to the story. The title of this book is The Wild Robot Protects. The author of this book is Peter Brown. Peter Brown is a very famous author. He wrote lots of books for children. Characters. The main character of this book is Rose. She is a robot which can talk with animals. She lives in an island and she is very close to the animals that live in an island. She is very kind. Gory. Gory is a shark and she is called an ancient shark because she lived long. People in the mining station. They're working for their family. They're not bad people. Bright Bill. He's the son of Rose. He's a smart goose. He loves Rose. Beginning. Once upon a time in an island, there was a happy robot called Rose. However, her happy life didn't last long. She heard the news about the poisonous tide, but she didn't know what it was. The only thing she knew was that the creatures are dying out because of the poisonous tide. So she decided to take a little trip to find out about the poisonous tide. Animals told her that if she meets the ancient shark, she might be able to fix the problem. She didn't know what ancient shark is, but she decided to go and find her. Middle. Rose asked around about the ancient shark. Now, she finally figured out where the ancient shark is. Rose traveled for a while and then she finally met the ancient shark. She introduced herself as Gary. They talked about the poisonous tide. Gary said the poison is coming from the mining station. Gary suggested Rose to attack the mining station together, but Rose refused. So they made an agreement of following Rose's plan under one condition. If the plan doesn't work out, they will follow Gary's plan. And run. Rose went to the mining station, but she got caught by the robots working there. So Gary's army and Rose's son Brightbell came to save Rose. But Gary's army accidentally started a fire in the mining station. The accident put workers in panic. But our hero Rose came and saved them. Rose talked about the poisonous tide with the workers because she thought they're the one causing the poisonous tide. One person explained that they're not the one who causes the poisonous tide. She said it's actually the mining robot that causes the poisonous tide. So Rose decided to meet the mining robot to stop the poisonous tide. But her son Brabble was worried about her and said to not go. But Rose didn't listen to him. She said in order to protect everyone and to stop the poisonous tide, she should go. At last, Brightbill agreed with Rose and run. Rose went to meet the mining robot. The mining robot is huge. Rose tried to explain her situation, but the mining robot was too violent. The mining robot caught Rose. At the same time, Gary's army was trying to kill the mining robot. Without realizing mining robot holding Rose, Gary's army decided to sink a whole mining station in order to kill the mining robot. When Gary noticed that the mining robot was hurting Rose, it was already too late for them to stop the attack. What do you think? Do you think Rose died? The answer is Rose was safe. Before the mining robot get crushed under the mining station, it let Rose go. Thus, Rose could successfully make her way out of the danger. In the end, Rose went back to her island and lived happily ever after. Lesson I learned. I learned that pollution can be fatal to many animals. Also, there are many people trying to protect the environment from pollution. Second, I also learned that family is very important. My personal experience related to the story. As mentioned in the story, animals are dying out because of the pollution. Protecting the environment like Rose is very important. I saw many animals dying out from the pollution. I saw lobster first getting killed by the people through trash that people threw away carelessly, like you see in this picture. I regularly make donations to few environmental movement organizations. Thank you for listening.
All right, thank you, Lena. That was great. So, save the environment. All right, next up we have G3.
Jane.
Jane.
Hi, my name is Jane. I'm from G3. Today I will talk about the book called Friendly Case and Mad Scientist Number 2, Attack from the 15 Feet Cupid, written by Jim Panton. About Franny. Franny loves science. Franny's little brother's name is Freddy. The bedroom was the best place for Franny. Franny loves science the most in her life. In her head was full of silly things about science. Beginning, she was making a smelly socks even more smellier. She was inventing them for fun. One day, her mother gave a dog named Eagle. When Franny said no to Eagle, Eagle still touched it because Eagle really wanted to help Franny. When Franny went to school, Eagle was playing with the ball that Franny gave and went to her school. Later, when she was at school, Eagle played with his ball. Eagle asked Franny asked her teacher to Mrs. Sally what is Valentine's. Mrs. Sally told all about Valentine's Day, and her teacher gave a card full of a baby getting a heart arrow. It used the heart to fill people in love. The next day, Eagle touched the ball and the pencil fell down, so the pencil bounced off. The pencil bounced off to the invention that Franny made that makes the picture into real, and it was the card that Mrs. Shelley gave. It was making it into real, and the ball float away to the invention and touch the button that makes it. And it was an invention that makes the thing bigger and bigger. So the baby with the heart arrows were very, very big and strong. It destroyed the whole city. When Franny went to her room, Franny was really angry of Eagle. And Franny made herself bigger and bigger with her invention and fought with the baby with the heart arrows. Franny saved the school buses and Eagle. Franny thought that Eagle was the best helper after she found Eagle because in her hair the heart arrow was stuck into her hair. Lesson I learned that when you get something, you don't like it at first, but you will like it then after. In this story, Franny didn't like Eagle, but later she lost Eagle and found it, and she loved Eagle because the arrows were stuck to Franny's hair. For example, you don't like a puppy, but later you can like it. Then you can think that the heart arrows were stuck in your body. You can think that and be more creative in your imagine. my real story. When I was 4, I didn't like puzzles, and now I like puzzles. And when I was 4, I didn't like puzzles because it was hard, and I don't like to solve the puzzles. But now I can think more, how could I solve the puzzle faster? These were the English books, and also there was workbooks too. And I wish that you can read this whole series book if you have a chance. Thank you for listening.
All right, thank you for the presentation, Jane. Okay, next up we have from G4.
Onyu.
Hello, my name is Onyu Lee, and today I'm going to talk about The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. I'm going to talk about the introduction, setting, summary, conclusion, why or why not I like this book, lesson learned from this book, and my recommendation. The setting takes place in an island, and the main character of this book is Rosm 7134. In a short word, you can say Ross and Brightbill. Ross is a friendly robot who was stranded in an island and faced many challenges to grow out of her normal programming. Brightbill was a little gosling that she adopted when she found a little goose egg. The summary. Ross is a robot who was stranded on a deserted island after a storm, and she learns to survive in the island by observing various of animals, and then she adopts a gosling named Brightbill and turns into a caring mother for the protector of a Brightbill. Then she faces challenges out of the world, including the other robots trying to retrieve him to the normal world that she came from. Then because of the threats, that she grows out of her programming, and she knew that she needs empathy, leadership, and sense of purpose. The conclusion. Ra's story was a very touching exploration of identity, growth, and the power of compassion. Through her relationships, we can show that the experiences on the island transformed a programmed machine into a true member of the natural world, showing that even something that is non-living can show how to build and learn, living, loving, and belonging to this island. Why do I like this book? Ra's story was very touching, and it was fascinating because usually normal robots that we know today don't have those senses of curiosity or happiness, but Ross grew out of her programming and could learn the experiences of how to grow beyond their programming. A lesson learned from this book. I learned 2 lessons from this book. First, I learned that we need to be respectful and caring for living things like animals and insects. That is also the one way to help Earth and save Earth from having extinct animals and insects. Second, I learned that sometimes we should be a little free, like Ross, because Ross had changed her life living freely in the wilderness with her friend animals. So I strongly recommend this book because it was very beautiful and wonderful to me. It can also teach you life lessons that you can use in your life to make it more exciting and fascinating. I also recommend you watching this movie in the theater. Well, that was all I was going to talk about. Thank you for listening.
Alright, thank you, Yu. Alright, next up, we have one last candidate, okay? It's gonna be from G5.
Brendan.
Hi, my name is Brandon, and today I'm going to talk about The Animal Farm by George Orwell. Today we're going to go through about the author, characters, beginning, middle, end, lesson learned, and real-life example. About the author. Actually, George Orwell is just a pen name of Eric Arthur Blair, who opposed communism and fascism and worked to promote the ideas of democratic socialism by his writings. As a child, he wanted to be a famous writer, and he published Down and Out in Paris and London as his first book. Before we get into this story, I want to tell you about the characters so you can understand better. Now, Jones is the farm owner who was banished by the rebellion, and Major is an old pig who criticized the unfair rules of humans, and Napoleon is first a common farm pig but becomes a cruel leader of the animal farm. And lastly, Snowball is an intellectual white pig who has leadership, dedication for the animal farm, and is Napoleon's rival. In the beginning, this story starts by Major making a speech about how the animals work hard but the humans do nothing, and he says that they should get rid of the humans. After Major dies, the animals take the chance to have a rebellion and take over the farm. And after Major, two pigs, Napoleon and Snowball, lead his way, and the farm goes well for a while. But after Jones and his men tries to take back the farm, and thanks to Snowball's brilliant battle plan, they could defend the animal farm, and Napoleon becomes jealous and opposes everything that Snowball says. In the middle, Snowball proposes the idea of the windmill, and Napoleon opposes it, then chases Snowball out of the farm. Napoleon takes control of the farm and says that they should build the windmill, and he claims that it was actually his idea, but Snowball stole it. But even though the animals were working like slaves, they were happy for working for themselves. But while others labored, pigs were in a life of luxury. For example, sleeping in beds and eating from the kitchen. After the windmill was finally finished, it was destroyed by a big storm, and Napoleon claimed that it was Snowball's work. The next day, Napoleon executed and killed animals, saying that claimed that they worked for Snowball. In the end, even Boxer, the strong horse, works too hard that he needs to visit the vet. that is actually a horse slaughterer, but the pigs lie that it was a vet who forgot to erase the words horse slaughterer in the van. Then, after a few years, the pigs become even more superior, and pigs start to walk on two legs like humans. But that was not all. Napoleon even invited human farmers and played together. In the end, the animals couldn't recognize who's the pig and who's the farmer. The lesson learned of the story is don't fall into greed. We should always remember that power can make humans easily a selfish and unfair person. And we shouldn't treat people who are educated and uneducated differently. We should treat all the people the same. The second lesson of the story is don't trust without doubt. We should all be able to choose by our thoughts, not by what others think. And we should make the government or any leaders of your community think that they are not ruling over us, but they are just serving us. I think a very good real-life example for this story is Stalin, who persuaded people that communism will make an ideal world, and after getting the power, he began to change. He was first a good leader of the Soviet Union, but became a dictator by being very cruel to his rivals and suppressing the people. I think another very good example for this story is King Uja from Baekje. He had revived the kingdom and played good politics, but as he won several wars and glories, he began to change from a good king to the last king of Baekje. Now I'm going to tell you how the story characters match with real-life characters. Jones, who was overthrown by the animals, or the Russian Emperor Nicholas II. And Old Major was Lenin, who started the idea of the revolution. And Napoleon is Stalin, who was a good leader at first, but suppressed the people and became a dictator. And Snowball was meant to be Trotsky, who was assassinated by his rival Stalin, like Snowball was chased away from the farm by his rival Napoleon. By this, I think this story is very interesting, and I highly recommend this book to all of you. I hope you like my presentation, and have a good day.
Okay, so guys, the book presentation is over.